Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Breath of the Wild. Now today I've changed things up a bit. Previously what I did was play through the game, commentate and then edit it after. Now today what I've done is actually edited all the gameplay footage together already and then I've gone back through it and commentated over the top. What's that mean? Well, I can talk about secrets I missed, what I think I did wrong, little bits and bobs like that. I'd love to hear your comments down below if you think it's the way to go. So I did come across this big group of moblins, including this slightly larger one here. Now you might be asking, why am I using a Boko club? Well, personally for myself, I prefer to keep like the Guardian swords, Guardian shields, things like that for much more difficult bosses. So I generally use the smaller items that I can find much more easier and use those to go up against these just, straightforward moblins. Now, I did just lose all my hearts there, but thankfully, spoiler alert, in one of the Divine Beasts, you can actually collect an item that does bring you back to life if you lose all your hearts, but it takes time to regenerate. Yeah, I ended up changing to the Guardian Sword eventually, though, just to help killing off. Haven't really decided whether I like the whole item degrading system yet. I do like some of the weapons and I don't end up using them because I want to carry them over into later in the game. I know some people were really upset with how it was all done. And I do understand that. Maybe it is something that Nintendo will look into in the future. The only thing I would say is the whole idea of having your items break, having to find more items, it gets you using a lot more of them over time, and other games with the whole open world aspect, I do feel are held back because of that. So I was looking around this area trying to find treasure, trying to find shrines when I come across the islands in the background. Now as you can see, the islands are all connected by these walkways. I was trying to figure out which way to go, so I was heading over to the right here. The electric keys as well, they can kill you pretty quick. Using an arrow against them seems to do the job. Also you can use the wooden weapons. If you use the metal weapons you will get killed pretty quick. There was a little hut over here, so I headed over towards that, hoping that there was something hidden. So there was a couple of luminous stones and an iron sledgehammer, which was a bit more powerful than some of the other weapons I had. So there were a couple of electric keys around, so I didn't really want to use arrows on these. I changed over to the sledgehammer because it was one of the lower power items. Killed him pretty quick, job done. I just continued heading down here really, and there's the bridge down there. Now if I continue, there is something down in the distance there. That's one of the flowers. I think this is a nightshade, which I could use to make an elixir, I believe. Just head over the bridge. So continuing over the bridge, and well, what would happen? A whole bunch of skeletons would appear. At this point I was like, there's loads of these guys, and I decided I needed some health, and then I thought maybe I should just run away. A lot of the time I find just completely avoiding any enemies is the way to do it. And then yeah, I thought maybe just continue heading up here, see what I could find. Maybe there's going to be something at the top of the hill. So there really wasn't much on the mountain itself, except for a few radishes, which will come in handy if my health is running low. So between all of these mountains, there is actually the bridges connecting them all together. So just glide down here. I was pretty sure that there was going to be a shrine down here. This whole area looks quite interesting, and I was confident I was going to come across something. Typically, I would be hit by some keys, but still there's some more down here, so I do try and get as much from these as I can. In this case, some amber. I'm sure that will come in handy later on. So yeah, around the mountain itself, there is these bridgeways. Further down here, there is actually an area where I really should have used a bomb to get in here. Maybe there would have been a chest. I'm going to have to come back to this later on, explore it a bit more. So yeah, continuing to head down, and there is a couple of fire keys. Wasn't really concerned about these guys, didn't really want to use arrows either. Used the sledgehammer, managed to set the grass alight and myself. Not too good there. But I love the fact that Breath of the Wild does this, and it just makes the game feel a lot more alive. Quite a big bridge to get across, and there is also the drones. I've been caught out quite a lot in the past with these guys, so I really want to be careful here. As you can see, they've actually targeted me. Not too hard to evade, you just got to get out of their view really. So yeah, just continue heading up the mountain here, see what I can find. Still nothing on the shrine meter though. So I did eventually get to the top of the mountain, thought I could get a better view of my surroundings. Nothing really stands out though, quite a distance back the way I come though. There is a bridge down here, so just jump down, cross that. There was no enemies though, I couldn't see anything. I was so sure there was going to be a shrine. You would think there would be some enemies surrounding it, so continue upwards here. There is actually a shrine right over in the distance that I've already gone and completed. Now with Breath of the Wild, I have spent the majority of my time, perhaps avoiding the storyline to some extent, but going around, collecting as many shrines as I can, trying to upgrade my hearts and stamina. I know that if I do go up against Ganon with only maybe 50 shrines done, that perhaps I won't go back and be as eager to find all the shrines and the extra treasure. I know in other games I've done exactly the same, and I've tried to collect as much as I can during that playthrough before going up against the end boss. Only time will tell really how long I do spend with the game. Other games in the future are obviously going to come out and take my attention, but I am still enjoying playing Breath of the Wild, and so trying to find the shrines are actually at times quite difficult, and on this area in particular I just ran over this section. Didn't really think about it too much, so continued on with my way, tried to see if there was a shrine around the corner. There was an old guardian with some gear, so I grabbed that. Always worth checking these out. I did actually not search them at points up until recently because I didn't know you could find the gear inside. Just gliding down to a campsite, there's a couple of moblins down there. Now what I love about all the characters in Breath of the Wild, moblins especially, is that they all seem to have their own little character, little personalities. Nintendo are quite good with this. It really gives me hope for future Zelda games. I mean, there's been plenty of times maybe I'll just be creeping past a bunch of moblins, just spying on them, just having a little game between each other, good stuff. Okay, now time to be serious with actually finding the shrine. I checked everywhere. I checked even over the edge of the mountain, just in case there was a shrine down below. Checked all the way back where I come from. And then I thought, hang on, I remember one section around here that looked a bit out of place. So I used stasis here, went and smashed it a few times with a sledgehammer. I'm sure there are other ways to do this, but this way was the easiest for me basically. Finally, I managed to find the shrine, so just drop down in there, go activate the shrine. So what I like to do is when I enter a new shrine, I do generally look around, try and find if there's any puzzles in the area, see if I can find the exit, which was just up on the top left there. Now there's a barrel in front of me, wasn't really sure what that was all about, except for maybe that I had to put a counterweight down. So jumping across to where the barrel was, I could see there was actually something up above, so just using the arrow to shoot the actual rope, I was hoping the big block would drop down, hit the other counterweight, and I'd hopefully get further up. So I did finally get up there. I could have went straight for the shrine at the end, collect my orb. Why would I want to do that? I'd want to go and get the other chest. Unfortunately, jumping across though didn't quite work out. I'd have to go back, use stasis on the block, and then drop it down onto the other side, get back up there. It did take me a few times, if I'm being honest. Finally, I did get up there, got to the chest. There was a diamond inside, which I'm sure will come in handy, as always. Unfortunately, I couldn't just jump across though. I did need to go and use stasis again. I have actually been watching a few videos of how people have managed to get to the end of the shrine, how to do it in ways that probably Nintendo weren't aware of, being able to use your abilities to glide yourself over the exit gate, things like this. So that's a couple more orbs to add to the tally. Just need to go and do a couple more shrines and I'll probably upgrade the stamina next. So this video did actually take me a lot longer than I thought. Maybe it was just a change in style, but please let me know in the comments down below if you prefer this style or the previous style. In any case, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you already haven't. Thanks for watching.